So I finished Sunbringer. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the Beleaguered Author's one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scherer, and I am just another struggling writer. Well, today I have got for you another cozy 48-hour reading vlog. It is currently just after 8 o'clock on Friday night, so this will go to just after 8 o'clock on Sunday night. And I've got a pretty ambitious slate of reading laid out ahead of me, which is by necessity because I am once again behind on my reading. So originally, when I was first thinking about doing this reading vlog, my idea was for the main thrust of the vlog to be about Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner, which is the second installment of her Following God series, the first being God Killer, which I have talked about many times on this channel very praisingly. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was a good craft. It was a good book from a craft perspective, and I am really looking forward to getting into this one. I normally don't read sequels so soon after I read the first installment. I picked God Killer up in January, right at the beginning of January. It's now mid-March. That's really fast for me, but that just speaks more to how good God Killer was. So I'm going to be reading this one, but before I get into this one, I need to finish a book that I started on March 1st when I was still in Denver, and it has been just kind of hanging over me like a dark cloud because it is just so freaking long, and that is Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, and my ebook version is almost 750 pages, and every time I would open it, I would read 30 or 40 pages and it would only move a couple of percent, and it was just so intimidating. But in the last couple of days, I've picked it back up and really started reading again with intention, and I've flown through another 250 pages, and now I am just about at the climax. I am at 75%. There's less than 200 pages left. So my goal for tonight is going to be finishing Mask of Mirrors. I'm really enjoying it. There's no reason that I've been putting it off other than its length. I really like the story. We follow a young woman named Ren who is basically just trying to con her way into a noble family. However, she has misjudged this family that she has chosen as her mark because it turns out that the family is broke, pretty much. They're in debt, and there aren't that many members of the family left, and they've lost a lot of political clout. However, it's too late to turn back, so she kind of has to hitch her horse to their wagon and try and get them back into good standing and reclaim their fortunes if she wants her con to succeed. And of course, keeping up with the ruse creates a real strain on not just her, but everyone around her. It's very political, it's very involved and intricate, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I just need to get through it at this point. So, like I said, it's just after 8 o'clock, so for tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, I'm going to watch some hockey, and I'm going to paint my nails, and I'm going to finish this beast. And then I will check in with you guys when I'm done. We will see if I get to Sunbringer tonight. I do have some plans tomorrow. I have to take my car in to get an oil change, and so me and my partner are going to stop in at this diner that we like to go to whenever our cars are in the shop and just get some breakfast. And then we have plans for a nerd date for the afternoon, which is really just us playing video games together, which I'm not complaining about at all, but it does mean that I'm probably going to read a little bit in the morning and then do the majority of my reading in the evening. Sunbringer isn't quite as short as God Killer was. God Killer came in at just under 300 pages. I think this one is, it's 370 pages, so quite a bit longer, but still within my capability of reading in a single day. I do manage to finish that one. I would like to make some progress into Gray Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is the second installment of his Book of the Ancestor series, the first being Red Sister, which was one of my favorite books that I have read in the last 5 years. I've already started this one. I'm only about 15 or 20% through. Again, this has just been sitting over here on my nightstand just waiting for me to pick up and read a little bit more of, but I would really like to get the monkey off my back of Mask of Mirrors, and I'm really, really excited about Sunbringer. So if I can finish Mask of Mirrors, which I do intend to do tonight, then it'll be on to Sunbringer, and if I can finish Sunbringer, then Gray Sister. So those are my reading plans. I'm going to go pick out some nail polish and get settled in, maybe get a soda or some hot chocolate, something to drink, get this hockey game going, and get some reading done. I will check in with you guys in a little bit, hopefully once I've finished Mask of Mirrors. Hey y'all, it is now Saturday morning and I just have a quick reading update for you. I have read the first 4 chapters of Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner, and I gotta say I am still really digging it, digging the writing style, digging the story, digging the characters. I don't have much to go on based on what I've read so far, but we're picking up pretty much right where we left off at the end of God Killer. I'm not going to get too much into that because of spoilers, but we have added a new perspective, which I think I will find very interesting, and I think the thrust of the story is also going to appeal to me as well. So I just got back from getting my oil change and having breakfast with my partner. I am now going to take a nap, my mid-afternoon nap or early afternoon nap, as it is not quite noon yet, and then me and my partner are going to have our nerd date, and then I will get back to reading in the evening. So quick update for you, but everything that appealed to me about God Killer is still appealing to me now. So I will check in with you guys later this evening once I hit like the 25% mark. Hey everyone, it is now Sunday afternoon. I meant to update last night before I went to bed, and I just ran out of time. I am now about a third of the way through Sunbringer, and I gotta say, I am really liking it. My biggest complaint about God Killer was all of the characters at one point or another just really annoyed me. They were either just unnecessarily bitchy or just unnecessarily contributing to miscommunication or lying or hiding things, except for Inara. Inara was perfect as always. But everyone else, all the other characters just really kind of rode on my nerves a little bit. That is not happening in this one so far. I feel like all of the characters are doing what they have to do and just doing it with their eyes open. And even though there are times where, yes, they are a little bit abrasive and a little bit grating, I feel like this all contributes, or this all ties back to the trauma that they went through in book 1 and the trauma that they are anticipating going through and the steps that they are having to take in this one. So that has been cleaned up, and that has been really nice. That was my one complaint about the first book, is that the characters were just a little bit annoying, and that's not the case in this one. So I got that far right before I went to bed, and then this morning I got up and did a little bit of homework, and then I took a nap, and now I have got a little bit more homework to do. I've got some tidying up. It's Sunday. It's, cleanup day. So I've got some chores to do, and I've got some more homework to finish up. But my goal is to have this done before the end of the day. I can read 250 pages before the end of the day and get all my homework done, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be my goal. So I will check in with you when I hit maybe the 50% mark or the 60% mark. Usually when I hit the climax, like the 65% mark, and the run up to the climax, everything just starts moving so quickly. I feel like I can't put it down, and I just binge the rest of it. So I will check in with you probably around the 50% mark, and then we'll go from there. Hey everyone, it is now Sunday evening, and I have just hit the halfway mark of Sunbringer, and I've got to say, I am loving this even more than the first one. I love the character dynamics. I love how they're all reacting to this new crisis, and I love that the solution is not as straightforward as any of them believe that it is. And they're all, this in the beginning of this book, it was kind of a breaking of the fellowship from the first one, and they're all 4 of our characters have different ideas about how to react to this new situation that they're in and what the best path forward is, and none of them seem to agree with each other. And I really like that they still have the strong bond with each other, but they all feel very strongly about what they feel they have to do as well. So I feel like things are really about to hit the fan now. There was kind of a pretty strong delineation of like the midpoint, and that's where I decided to stop and take a break. I've got a little bit more homework left to do this evening. I'm hoping it won't take more than another hour, and then I'm going to get back and hopefully finish the sucker tonight. But so far, it is exceeding my excitement for God Killer. This is just as good, and without my complaints about the characters, it's feeling even better. So we'll just have to see how it kind of ends up. I don't know if I'll have another update for you before I finish, but so far at the 50% mark, I'm loving this even more than God Killer, and I'm hopeful that this is my first 5-star read in more than a year. So wish me luck. I am going to go get my homework done and get some laundry taken care of and just the regular Sunday night things before I go back to work. But so far, Sunbringer is really living up to the expectations I had of it. So we'll see how it goes. So I finished Sunbringer, and there has to be a third book, right? There has to be. She can't leave it like that. Like, the epilogue is just to show us what's going on, right? It's not really the end. There has to be a third book. Right? I loved this book even more than the first one. Yeah, I loved it. I can't really talk too much without getting into spoilers, but it improved on the first one in the only way that I had complaints, which was like the characters being just a little bit irritating with like their motivations and the way they went about acting on them. This one, even though there were times where I'm like, I was still screaming, "What the fuck are you doing?" It still all made sense to me. The character progression that they all went on, like, yet again, in such a short amount of time, we see character growth for all four of the main characters. There were plot twists at the end. Like, I just never considered, like, I think if I had, like, given it more thought, I think I may have, like, seen it as a possibility. I just never considered it. And there has to be a third book. There's no way that the epilogue is anything other than just a cliffhanger, or to make it even more cliffhangery, because there's no way she's going to leave it at that. I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. I haven't had a 5-star read in well over a year. I didn't have a single one last year, and I would have to go back and look at my old blog and see what the last 5-star I had was, but it's been a long time. And I think I'm going to give this one 5 stars. I loved it. The character dynamics, and I mean, just especially between Inara and Sketty, who, like, their relationship was, like, kind of wholesome, but also kind of twisted and kind of, even kind of scary in the first one, scary for what it meant. And in this one, like, I just wanted their bond to be healed more than anything. And there were times where they were clashing. And, like, Inara has been my favorite throughout this whole thing. Just her progression from where she was at the beginning to where she is at the end. And I just really have loved watching her grow and all of that. And it can't be the end. It can't. There has to be a third one. Like, I don't look these sorts of things up, which is why I didn't even realize, stupidly, that Amina al-Sarafi was going to be a series. I thought it was a standalone. But this has got to be... I think what's throwing me is that she used the word epilogue, and there's just no way. There's no way it's the end. Right? So that brings us to the end of this 48-hour reading vlog. I went just over 48 hours. It's just after midnight. And I think I got started at 8 o'clock on Friday, but I had like a date on Saturday and homework to do today, so I'm not really that pressed about being late, and I'm not that pressed about not getting to my third book, but there was no chance that I was not finishing this tonight. There was just no chance. After the kids went to bed and after I finished my homework, I just was like sitting down, and I was like, it's like that meme where the person like is sitting up and they lean forward. That's what I literally was leaning forward on the couch reading it. Oh my gosh. I loved it. I loved it. And now I have to find out if there's going to be a third one. I'm sure there is. There's got to be. Yes. This clearly follows the 3-act structure, where the second act is where everything goes to shit. So there's got to be a third book. Just the laws of storytelling. So I finished one 4-star. That was The Mask of Mirrors. I read the last 250 pages. This was 367 pages. So that's 600 pages. I'm going to be happy with that in 2 days when I had other things going on. I may have another reading vlog for you next week. I'm not sure. That's pretty much going to be it for me for this video. If you like my channel and you want to support, please like and subscribe. It is so appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. I think I have a kind of a explainer planned for how I rate things, how I break it down between 1 and 5 stars, which is fitting considering I just gave this one 5 stars, my first in a long time. So that is going to be coming up later this week, and I hope you look forward to it. Bye!